Hey adventurers, hey Paxians, welcome back to another video. I'm Phoenix if you haven't interacted with me before, and I just want to say thanks for stopping by to watch this video. I generally create content about Pax Dei, but just because of some crazy insane life stuff that's been going on, I haven't been able to do that as consistently as I want to. And today was a perfect day to get back on the horse. Mainframe, the developers of Pax Dei, as you know, put out a new post that describes kind of what we're going to see for the next, really what I think basically to the end of the year. But let's talk about what's coming up. Where's Mainframe at? Where's the content at? Give me the content. It's coming soon. It's coming in autumn. However, we don't know specifically when yet. We don't have a solid date. I would like to believe that we'll probably see this sometime in November. And that's just thinking back to last year when we saw Alpha 1. I believe that hit sometime in November as well. I could be way wrong on that because time has just been all sorts of crazy for me. So anyways, that isn't as important as that we do have a confirmation that it's coming sometime this year, sometime in autumn. We'll get a date at a later point in time when Mainframe is ready to confirm that date, when they've got things lined up for release. And so the biggest concern is, where's the content at? It's coming. What is the content going to be? I think that's another fair question. And Mainframe shared quite a lengthy post today about kind of what's been going on. And I'm not going to dig into every sentence that's in there, but I want to just pull out some of the highlights. And content is absolutely a highlight, so we're going to talk about it. So if we look at what we're going to expect to see, you can see that combat improvements is on the list, and I for one am extremely excited about this. I didn't think combat was ready for Alpha 1. I made that very clear in the feedback that I provided back then. We have seen some improvements over time, granted. I still don't think it's in a great place, but I am also holding on to the fact that Mainframe has said that they are going to continue to improve it. So things like improved responsiveness is definitely a win in my book, but we also see things like improved hit detection, readability, improved nameplates, the ability to cancel attacks, and spell casting I think is actually really interesting as well, because that's going to add some tactical and logistical differences to combat that I think are just plain missing right now. So I for one am really excited to see what this looks like. We also see that they're talking about reworking some of the early PvE engagements, specifically with things like enemy camps. I know as a solo player primarily, I struggled with doing any POI camps until I was really in some chainmail armor and had decent weapons. And that took a long time to get to, naturally, because I'm a solo player. So I was okay with the grind, but the difficulty of going from like a boar and a wolf to the POI was just, there was too much of a gap there. So I appreciate that they've identified this as something they want to work on a little bit and have that a smoother transition for players who are engaging in that type of content. Now, obviously, if you're in a clan and you're running with a group of 5 people into a POI, you're probably not going to have a hard time doing it, and that's okay. The point is that I think that they're taking a look at these different models and the POIs that are out there and trying to understand, is this something that we should refine? And I think that's a good thing to think through. Another thing that is going to be changing or improving or seeing enhancements is the crafting system, apparently. We're going to see the addition of a journal, which was formerly called a compendium. And this is going to show us all of our known recipes, which is a fantastic quality of life feature that I have been asking for something like this for a while now. I didn't care if it was like in an actual like item book that I could open up and read and see. It doesn't look like, based on the screenshot, that that's the case. It looks like it's going to be a menu option. So maybe it's a menu option like the hammer where you can open it and it opens up the journal, or maybe it's just there in the menu. We don't really know yet. We'll find out soon, sometime in autumn, hopefully. Additional content we're going to see are information about lore. So lore is, it's an interesting it's interesting because there's a lot of people who love it. Mana, Shalimar, you guys come to mind. And then there's people who absolutely don't care about it at all, and that's totally fine. You know, I for one think it's really interesting because it helps sets the setting and the world building that we have going on. I mean, there's clans out there, there's communities out there that are really digging into that, and I think that's really unique, and I'm sure Mainframe really appreciates and loves that. But we're going to see some more lore unveiled or revealed sometime in autumn as well. So that's going to be interesting. And last but certainly not least are some quality of life changes that I know a lot of folks have been asking for. So here's a point, they're listening. Compass. I know a lot of people have mentioned that having some sort of a compass would be really nice. Things like new emotes. You know, we see there's an emote for sitting down at a table or resting at a table. The fact that you can sit down and do that has been requested as well. So again, feedback is coming in. Mainframe is taking that feedback and working it into Pax Dei, even if it's not right away, because these things don't happen overnight. We also are going to see some new building pieces and signs, and I know the builders out there are going to love that. The one that I'm also really excited for is the recycling system. I can't tell you how many shoes and spears I've thrown away. I know you've done the same thing. I don't like littering in the world. So it'll be nice to have this system. I don't know, obviously we don't know what it's going to really truly look like or how it will function, but I'm hoping for some sort of like a breakdown of materials that you can then craft into something like an iron bar. So like you get from salvaging or recycling the item, you get a nugget and you can reforge those back up into the main materials. I think that would be an interesting way to do it. I'm sure that there are plenty of ideas and plenty of ways to do that out there that are better than that, but it is what it is. It's going to help us not throw so much stuff away. And that's the win there. The last one on the quality of life change is the one button wood cutting or mining. And I think this is going to feel a lot better. I'm hoping that this also extends to things like gathering flax or, you know, other things that are just on the ground. I think I even at some point suggested using a sickle or like creating an item or a tool for a sickle that would then get all the flax around a particular area, like 5-meter radius or something. But the point being, we don't have to replace our keyboards. No, I haven't had to do that yet, but I feel like I'm mashing the E button so much that I'm going to need to soon. So I think this is another great win for quality of life. And truly, these are things that are feedback that players have provided. I know I've seen it. I know some of these things are things I've mentioned. So players providing feedback is being fed into the Pax Dei / Mainframe ecosystem, their life cycles, their product design, and is ultimately coming back out to us as content. And that's great. That's what we want, right? So I know Altari is going to probably dig into some of the specifics and show more details about and talk about these specifics. But I do want to just end and say, if you're new to the Pax Dei world, if you're new to the Pax Dei community, welcome. Not a lot of people say that, so I feel like just saying welcome. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're enjoying Pax Dei. I also want to say to the people out there who've been playing for a long time and are maybe feeling burnt out, I'm one of them. I had to take a break. And it's okay to take a break. I know that there are people out there that are going to say, no, this is a game, it should hold your attention, or you should just throw it away. You can have that perspective. I don't think that's a great perspective, but that's just me. That's my opinion. But I think taking breaks is healthy for me specifically to step away from what's going on and then be able to step back in with fresh eyes, seeing things in a different way, to get my mind off of Pax Dei and just kind of the burnout that I was feeling there with all the side projects I'd been working on. But I want to get back in. I want to dig in. I can't wait for autumn. I can't wait for this patch. The only thing that can make it better is that combat feels exceptional. I try to keep these short and sweet. 10 minutes isn't really that short, but I feel like there's just a lot to unpack here from just a general kind of update perspective. So keep an eye out for Altari's video. I'm sure that he's probably recording it right now like I am. But he'll dig into some of the finer aspects and the more detailed aspects of the videos and the graphics that we've seen today from Mainframe. Until next time, I just want to say again, welcome to the new folks that are out there. To the old folks, keep going strong, and we'll see you on Discord. Take care.